Up.
Uh, uh,
Up.
what? Okay, what's the game gonna be this time? Do you want me? You want to watch me play free cell? Do you want me to pick my favorite song by The Click? Because I think I only know one.
Aristocrats.
What do you, what do you mean?
Aristocrats.
Yeah, I heard what you said. What do you mean, aristocrats? The Duke of Montrose, the Viscount of Trenchard. What?
Aristocrats.
Oh, okay. I think you want me to tell that joke. You want it? Okay. That's so. You want me to tell my version of the aristocrats? If that is correct, please indicate that that is correct by saying the word aristocrats.
Aristocrats.
There. See, now we're communicating. Okay. Okay, the aristocrats. So there's this small time talent agency, and the president of the talent agency is in his office one day when in walks his number one talent scout. He sits down and he says, "Boss, have I got a hell of an act for you. I just caught their act last night at this theater in some fucking town, and wait till I tell you about it. You will not be able to wait. You will want to sign them right away. We'll be able to print money with these people." And so, of course, the boss says, "Well, tell me about the act." And the scout says, "Well, it starts out, it's a mother, it's a teenage son, and it's a little baby, maybe a toddler, like about 3 years old, and they're a family act. And they walk out on stage and they start doing these sort of tumbling exercises, where like they'll do like synchronous somersaults and flips around, and they'll do all kinds of crazy stunts with the little one, the baby, the 3 year old, where the mother will pick the kid up by the ankles and swing him around and actually release the kid, and the teenager will grab him and do some kind of a flip, and he'll land on his feet, and the little kid is so well trained, has such a great stage presence, he'll do like a little bow and everything. So they do this stuff for like the first 5-10 minutes, and it's fun, it's exciting. You don't see that sort of thing very often. It was kind of, I thought it was kind of old fashioned. It reminded me of like kind of a vaudeville type of show. But anyway, they do this for a while, and then the fourth member of the act comes on stage, and he's the father. And he comes staggering out from the wings, and he's sort of half dressed in his costume. You can tell there's a couple of zippers that he hasn't quite made it all the way to the top, and his hair is all fucked up, and he looks a little unshaven. He's got a bottle of whiskey in his hand, and he kind of swaggers or staggers or sways out to more or less the center of the stage, and he pops the cork out of the whiskey, and he just turns that fucker upside down, and he drinks a good half of that bottle. I mean, right there, just one uninterrupted gulp, just like Belushi in Animal House, only he doesn't finish it the whole way. And then he puts the cap back on that bottle, and he lets out a belch, and he says, seeming like he's talking to the audience, but really you get the sense that he's talking to his family members. He says, "Let's get this fucking show started." And then he grabs his wife and he pulls her in and he gives her this big wet open mouth kiss, like really nasty, and like being kissed by like a horse or something. I mean, just all over her face. And she pushes him away and she slaps that motherfucker. I mean, like really slaps him hard. Like, I mean, you could hear it like back in the back of the theater, like where I was sitting, because I got really shitty seats for this pause. And so, I mean, he spins him half around with this slap. Just boom! So the dad, the drunk dad, doesn't react too kindly to this, and he sort of reels for a second, then he straightens back up, and man, he stares at that wife of his with like fire in his eyes, and he takes 2 big steps towards her, and he's hauling off to give her a smack across the head, and the son, the teenage son, reaches out and he grabs him by the arm, and he won't let him hit his mom, you know. So he turns on the son, he takes his other hand, his left, and he goes bam, and he hits that kid like he was a full-grown man, and he goes flying. But the kid doesn't knock him out. He gets up, he stands up, and he just charges at the old man. I mean, just dives at him, just tackles him like a football tackle. Just like, you ever watch wrestling and the spear, like Goldberg, the spear? He fucking Goldbergs this guy, and so the son and the father are rolling around, and they're like punching and biting and throwing elbows and just cussing each other. You fucking, don't you ever touch my fucking mom like that. And you shut up, you mother, you know. And so the mom sort of is watching all this in a daze. She gets up, grabs them both by the hair, pulls them up by the hair, and pulls them apart. And they're still like shoving at each other. And she's like, hey, you know, come on, we can't do this. You guys are family, and blah blah blah. And the old man, the drunk guy, he reaches out his hand to his son, puts his hand on his forehead, and then he just pie faces him and just shoves him like 3 feet away. Then he grabs the mom and he punches her in the gut, and he bends her over, and she's there on the stage. And by this time, like, the little baby, the 3-year-old, is just fucking crying his eyes out, or her eye. I couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl. And she's just crying, and the teenage son is just sitting there like, oh my god. And so the father like starts undoing his bottoms of his leotard, and he's like, you know, he throws the wife had a little skirt on, he throws that skirt up, he like rips the fucking bottoms out, exposes her ass to the whole theater. He starts fiddling with his junk, you know, trying to get it. I don't know if it was the alcohol or if it's like an issue between them or whatever, but he had a hard time kind of getting it up, you know what I'm saying? So he's there like got one hand on the back of his wife's neck, holding her there, right? He's got the other hand down between his legs, trying to get himself started. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He can't get going anywhere. So he's like delayed, you know. So while he's doing this, behind him, the son gets up and he grabs that whiskey bottle that his old man drank out of when he first came on stage. He grabs that whiskey bottle, takes it by the handle, holds it up like a club, comes in behind his old man, and crack, right in the back of the head. Doesn't break the bottle. The old man just goes, oh God, and he falls to the stage. So now the son is like, he drops the whiskey bottle on the stage, and the son gets up and he helps his mom up, and he's like going to collect the little baby, his brother or sister, whatever. They're about to walk off stage to stage, let's say stage right, and they're walking off, and right as they're about to get all the way off the stage, fucking drunk dad sits up, like upright, like fucking Undertaker. Gets to his feet. Where the fuck are you going? Get your fucking ass back here. These people paid to see a show, and I'm gonna give them a goddamn show. That's like exactly what he sounded like. He takes off running, grabs the fucking wife by the hair, drags her back out like a fucking caveman. Grabs the son, pulls him in, bam! Elbow right to the face. Knocks the kid fucking loopy. Knocks him senseless. Right? Throws the wife on the stage, grabs the whiskey bottle, pulls the cork out with his mouth, takes that fucking whiskey, it's fucking Jack Daniels, whatever the fuck it was, and pours it all over his dick. His dick is hard now, by the way. Pours it all over his dick, reaches into his pocket or his belt or whatever, pulls out a Zippo, lights that motherfucker. They really do light every single time. Touches that flame to his whiskey-covered dick. Now he's got a flaming fucking hard-on. Bends over the wife and just, bam! Rams that fucker in there up to the balls, right? Fire shooting out everywhere. I don't know how the fire managed to keep burning after the first initial penetration. You'd think the lack of oxygen would have doused the fire, but no, the fire keeps going, right? And he's just fucking going to town on the wife. The theater is like fucking just, you could hear a pin drop. It's like a church, right? and that's like all you can hear, right? So the son finally comes to, reaches over, grabs that whiskey bottle, sees what his dad's doing to his mom. He pours the whiskey all over his hands, lights his own fucking hands on fire with the dad's Zippo, and then he's just like fucking Human Torch. Bam in the face, bam in the side of the head, bam in the face again. Just beating the shit out of his dad while his dad is raping his mom on stage with a flaming dick. It's the most fucked thing I've ever seen. It's the most ridiculous, incredible thing I've ever fucking seen. They're wailing on each other. The dad like pushes the mom off. Dick's so fucking like a torch, right? He grabs the son by the back of the head, and puts his own son's mouth right on his fucking flaming dick. And he's just like, brrr, you know, and the kid, his flaming hands are still flailing around, and he catches the curtains on fire with his flaming hands. The curtains start going up. The baby by this time is like toddling the fuck out, right? The baby toddles over to mama, stands up, and grabs the baby, and they're getting ready to walk out when what should happen, but she gets tripped by one of the feet of the dad, who is still forcing his son to blow his flaming dick. And the son is like raining blows on his head with his fiery fists. And the mom is like grabbed there, and he pulls him in like, you know, come here. By this point, the whole theater is on fire. And now the audience, we finally got the hint. We're up running for our fucking lives. We're heading for the fire exits. And right before I make it out of the theater, I'm right to the exit, and I look back at the stage, and it's just engulfed in flames. All you can see are these four figures, these dark shapes in the fire. And it's the little kid and the dad and the mom and the teenage son, and they're still struggling in this death struggle with each other. And right before I make it out the door, right before it all just completely collapses, I hear the voice of the dad, and he shouts at the top of his lungs over the sound of the fire and the crackling and the destruction, "Norman Rockwell never painted this, did he?" And then like a big beam falls, and the whole thing is engulfed in flames. I make it out of the theater. The whole theater is consumed by fire and collapses in on itself, and it just falls into a big pile of fire and ash and smoke. And it was just the goddamnedest thing I have ever seen, boss. And if there's any way you can sign this act, you have got to fucking do it. It was the damnedest thing I ever saw. So the boss has been sitting here listening to this story this whole time, and he looks at his talent scout there, and he kind of takes it in, tries to process the story, you know, and he says, wow, that is one hell of an act. What do they call it? And the talent scout says, the Aristocrats.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.